Hey, it's Gary here. Here. At La Forêt again. And as you can see, they're preparing the old fields already, ready for next year. And we are actually getting a few little small flakes of snow. Old Serge just messaged us earlier. My face is a bit cold. And it was snowing like crazy over there, and he's only about 40 kilometres from here as the crow flies. So anyway, here we are. I think it's the 21st of November, and yeah, there's a few flakes of snow. We used to get a lot of snow here back in the day, but we also used to have, for all you spinning ball, climate, warming, boiling, freezing, whatever, dust storm change bods out there, we also used to have incredible winters where, like in 2017, where we were still sitting out on a balcony mid-November when the guys came over, the Jet Blacks came over to record their first record, or should I say their only record. You know how that goes. Anyway, so here we are, just walking back to the house, and I don't know where I'm going to put this one out, but as we said, repetition is the key. So what I wanted to talk about was, watched a few things over the last few days. Me and good old mum, we've been watching this guy who's out and about in London, and it's brilliant what he's done over the years. It's absolutely brilliant, but I still can't get my head around how, maybe not today, perhaps back then, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, you actually thought that voting counted, right? So anyway, this particular thing we watched this morning, no disrespect, girls, right? It says 50,000 women get together to basically protest against the old golden boy, the old Trumpster. Now, what I thought was funny about this, again, so that was 2017. Well, first off, you don't live in America, right? Okay? Secondly, do you really think anybody at the American embassy gives two squirts of whatever, what you think? Of course not. Now, I've been to the American embassy, I only went once, when I get my second artist visa. And the funny thing about that was that I spoke to this girl, and she said, I said, where are you from? She goes, Scotland. And I said, oh. And she goes, oh yeah, nobody works here. Nobody from here really is American, from the US. We're all, you know, from here, apart from maybe some security bods and whatever. So I said, oh, right. Anyway, cut a long story short, got my visa and I left. But again, the point was, when you look at these things, I know things have changed a lot over the last few years, including stuff that I've looked at and so on, you know, got it wrong, got pissed off about things and so on. But when you look at, if you actually believe that these bods are voted in, you've got to be, I don't know how separated from reality you must be at this point in time. Like we said, all these people are hand-picked people. We use that term, but that doesn't mean they are. They're hand-picked to play a part, right? So anyway, this guy was talking about, and he is brilliant. I'm not knocking what he's done because he is brilliant, but he's talking about Theresa May, right? There's a car just about to go by. He's talking about old Theresa May. What happened to Theresa May? Don't hear much about that one, do you, anymore? Right, but anyway, he's talking about Theresa May and about how this person had all this power. That person didn't have any power, right? Remember the funny little dancing woman, so-called woman? Didn't have any power. It was just a face to deliver a message. But they talk about, you know, again, how things will change if these people changed. It never changes because it's not meant to. That's what I think. I don't think it's meant to change. I reckon this is what it's supposed to be about. And it's like a test to see how much rubbish you will actually suck up and believe before one day the light bulb clicks on top of your head and you go, hang on a minute. This has been going on for 40 years, whatever, you know, because you can't count your first 20 years, can you? You don't know shit then. So, like I said, I'm 60 now. I'm proud of it. Still got all my hair, even though it's white now. But when you look at this stuff and you go, I think 30 years ago, that's why I never ever voted. Because I know they're all crooks, right? And they all work for a higher order. And this book, like I said, that I've been reading about, it's all to do with the Vatican and all this kind of stuff, you know. And this guy, he drops a few bombshells in this in this book, which is quite interesting, you know. It's the old numbering and all this kind of stuff and so on. But like I said, at the end of the day, you can go out and you can protest as much as you like, and car's just about to go by. It's quite unusual around here. Probably thinking, what's he doing, right? But anyway, when we do our thing about the City of London, me and Serge, when he comes over, so you got all these bods out in you know, outside the American embassy, and they've all got different flags and different banners. You got your rainbow banner there, right, getting ready to push that agenda on everybody and so on. But what's great about it is you can see that even the people that are there are divided. They're all divided, right? Nobody's in unison. You know, you got your typical, your washed out purple-haired brigade and all that lot. These poor little kids have been dragged along to this shit by a bunch of parents who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? And did it fix anything? No, of course it didn't. Because the old golden boy, he's back there at the moment, isn't he? Now, I don't know, I haven't really looked into it, but were there any big protests about that when he got back in after the old Billy Girl Biden? No, I don't think there were. So it shows you again that it's a complete, utter waste of time. The only way you can actually do anything that means anything is to document it properly. And it's very easy to do without going into too much here, and we know how to do it, right? But again, what is so funny is these clowns, these people, these characters, they're all out there ranting and raving, waving their silly little cardboard banners, right? Saying that this is corrupt, that's corrupt, this is corrupt, that's corrupt, that everything is corrupt. It's all corrupt and it's all lies. Yet, in 2020, they all went along with the agenda. Maybe 5% of those 30,000 people that turned up outside the American embassy thinking they were going to change things all sucked it up and went along with the 2020 agenda. And again, like old Serge says about rhubarb and custard, diddly diddly, you can't be on the fence, mate. You're either out or you're in. And that, I think, when you look at these things, you just got to say to yourself, well, I guess at the end of the day, you know, you have to, what's it, live and let be or something? I don't know, live and let die, James Bond. But, you know, if you actually believe that half these characters throughout historical narrative even exist, there's no proof that any of these people existed. And once they've done their job, they all disappear, and you never hear from them again, unless there's some sort of Andy-pandy scam that comes up. But anyway, I just thought I'd make a little thing. This will probably be out on Wednesday, and yeah, it's interesting stuff. But when you look back, the Thatcherisms, all that lot, Ted Heath, nothing's changed. And you know, when it's like the big awakening, I'm afraid, I'm sorry to say, I don't believe there is a big awakening. I think there is a very small percentage of people that can understand that they've been lied to, and there's a massive group of people who still think that voting and supporting certain groups of people is going to change something, and basically, not wishing to be negative, because it isn't, but they ain't going to change nothing for you. You've got to change for yourself. Anyway, just leave it at that. It's a beautiful afternoon. I've just picked up a bit of old wood here. Anytime I see a bit of wood like that, I'll pick it up. It's always useful for the old barbecue and the fire. Anyway, it's me over and out. and the weekend ahead. So hope you're all doing good, and we'll catch you later.